Welcome back. Here's where you left off. Spoilers ahead for chapters 42 through 53 of The Shackleton Signal by Joshua Calvert.
We are done reading this book, and there's a lot of things that we need to unpack. A lot. Like, we're talking about a big suitcase that we need to unpack one cubicle at a time here. Derek, I just want to ask you a simple question. Which storyline do you prefer? Because the stuff that happened to the investigation side to NASA, like, to the space thing, there was a lot of things that I do want.
It's like 3 storylines.
Yeah, I know,
It's like 3 storylines. It's like the last 3 chapters. Anyway, so let's start off with Rebecca. Okay, so we have Rebecca, Charles, and then the Chinese guy who shows up at the end. So,
Yeah. So
we have.
Yeah.
So let's just say, okay. So let's just stay with the 2 main ones. We have Going to the Moon, and we have the spy novel. So I actually enjoyed as we go through the last few chapters. Rebecca sort of gets stolen. Taken by the baddies.
That's the key word. Kidnapped.
Yeah, she's taken away to some black site, which was kind of cool. I mean, as a spy novel, I was enjoying it. I mean,
exactly.
Even when she does the phone call and turns the tables on, and she's like, everything I say to you, think the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, that was a great thing. I thought that was really clever of her.
It is. It's kind of funny though, because when we left in the last episode, she was going into this thing that she got in a fight, and she became this kick-ass person. That's all good, and I have no problems with that because she is a trained military person, right? So when she got kidnapped by this quote-unquote general, right, and now she's being kidnapped. She brought into the black site to use the Black Hawk, the same Black Hawk they used for some Bin Laden thing. So it's pretty neat that's been tied in together. So that's pretty cool. But when she got to the black site, this is when I got bored. I literally got bored reading this, because I was like, there's points I'm just like, please tell me this is not how it's going to end. So I keep reading over and over again. And when the journal keeps saying, oh, well, we've been putting this together, we have to keep America safe, we have to colonize, we have to arm the moon because it's our survival thing, blah, 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 blah.
So are you disappointed? Were you disappointed with the stated goal of the baddies? Is that what you were upset about? That they're arming the moon to basically eliminate anybody who plants their flag on there, so they get there first and arm the moon. Is that what you're upset about?
I feel like there's one point that I was reading Austin Powers, sort of a storyline of like a baddie taking over the moon with a big laser pointing at them.
I don't know if I felt that way. I think that's a bit of... I get your point, but I do think that's a bit of a stretch, don't you? I mean,
no,
there wasn't really any comedy there. I mean, I understand it, but...
Yeah, it's not a comedy thing at all, but it just felt like it becomes it becomes a very James Bond, Austin Power feel to it. Just that point. That the rest of the book, especially in her storyline, is perfect. I really do enjoy that part. But as soon as he said that, oh, we want to arm this and all that stuff, we're a road faction in the U.S. government, blah 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 blah. That's when I'm like, really. So it was very unclimactic. But the only thing I can say after all my tension on that one, is when they walked into NASA. She literally walked in, like disguised and all, walked in. No one stopped her. By the way, everyone can do that pretty easily. They can just walk into the secure site dressed like the same way as everyone else. They walked in without a big FBI jacket behind them. They just walked in.
I'm going to be fair about this. No. She said they dressed up. They had the badges. So, I mean, let's be a little fair to the writer here. Let's just, give them a little bit of cred,
Yeah, if I have badges, I can walk into any secure site too. Come on. Here's the thing. If Space Force God, I really hate that name. Walk in, secure the site, and say, "Hey guys, make sure
Would
no
you
one comes
rather
in."
the Federation?
At least
you
it's more
rather him
realistic. But as soon as they walked in, it's like, "Here's my badge," and they're not going to confirm whose badge this is, or they're not going to do fingerprint. They're not going to do double check who this person is. If this is the right person, there's no swiping involved. Come on. So either way, we're not going too much detail of like WTF here. They walked in and they're like, they saw her in the corner and like, what is she doing here? Next thing you know, the FBI walked in, and every soldier's like, well, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm just gonna put my hands up and drop my weapons. Okay, cool. So she practically saved the world. We're about to move. She literally saved the whole book, the whole thing. So what do you think of my assessment of this part of our reading of this so far?
The thing is that as we got close to the end of the book, there were still just two parallel storylines, and there wasn't really any meshing of them. It's not like she called up to Charles and like, "Hey man, I got your back. I got him," or anything like that. It was just like, put Harry back on the line. It's all Charles ever said to Mission Control, put him back on the line, right? I thought that was great. But I did like, I felt like there were just two books going on here. And as he has done through the whole book, he's switching between Rebecca and Charles, Rebecca, Charles, even right up, I think it was like around chapter 48 or 50 or something like that, when her sort of plot arc wraps up. And sort of the last three chapters are more about Charles and the Chinese astronaut. And that's fine. But the other harsh thing about it is that for the last few chapters of the book, when Charles is there, I mean, first off, I don't know, but apparently the author loves ketamine, because all Charles shot into himself was
drugged
ketamine.
up, man. Oh my God.
But my question is, how much ketamine did they take to the moon? I mean, he's apparently on it for weeks on end.
Apparently a lot. Well, granted, I think they said, okay, each astronaut might need ketamine, so we'll allocate them 20 each. So, in my opinion, Charles should be a drug addict by now. I'm just saying.
I really think so, because every other time he's like, so he gets injured, he gets back in the airlock, he goes, ketamine's up. Then, they get they have the rescue rocket come. He goes over, he gets knocked out by an oxygen tank or something. And then he does, and I'm going to reference this for all mankind kind of moment where they wrap themselves up in duct tape and jump onto the surface. I'm really wondering what happened first here. Did he see that episode and then write it, or did the writers for All Mankind read his and then wrote it? I just don't know. I mean, it was so close to that I said that's crazy. I mean, is it technically possible? I'm sure there is some aspect of it that's theoretically possible.
It is possible, because
but I mean,
sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, the explanation of it being that you're pressure wrapped, and that's really your body not wanting to push out. You need a certain amount of atmosphere or tension placed back on your skin, makes sense. Okay. However, to effectively do that across your whole body and not have your lungs or whatever not be impacted by that, even if you're wrapping duct tape around your whole chest and all that, your chest wouldn't be able to expand and contract, as far as I understand it. So because you don't have enough pressure against it to do that, right? Because he's wearing like an oxygen mask or something, like a container. Anyway, the reason I'm not actually going on about this because of the duct tape thing. I'm going on about this because he was already massively injured, pumped up on ketamine. Then he duct tapes himself up, runs across the surface of the moon, and gets into the other ship. And I'm like, okay, that was a lot for one guy to go after, and he's just back on the ketamine now. Like,
You
what is
didn't know
this guy,
that?
Rambo? I mean, like,
hey, Derek, if you're in the moon and if you're being bombarded with radiation, your body becomes Superman. You know that, right? That's a fact. So
it's like his leg is like, well, no, the other thing is like his leg was messed up. So I'm like, okay, so it's been a couple days or whatever since you messed up your leg, but it's still messed up. Okay, all right. The argument is you're bouncing on the moon. Sure, but when you bounce back down, is your leg going to collapse with the duct tape? Like, I don't know. I was just like, this is...
the mission. Okay, let's regroup here. After the NASA, after they sorted out NASA, okay, it is what it is. They sorted out NASA. Okay, now we're in the moon. Like the last 3 chapters is all about the moon, or the last 2 chapters is all about the moon. The way it was written is like, correct me if I remember this correctly. I just literally finished the book last night, so just remind me if I remember this correctly. They figured out that they need to go to the test flight ship that landed in the moon because they need to test if the supplies survive. So they have oxygen there, they have food there, they have everything in there, so they have ready to go. So that's cool. So they used the Freedom rocket to traverse a couple of kilometers away and land, what did it say, 3.9 meters away from the airlock. Okay.
Yeah, 3.9 meters.
So they landed
no, you make a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Good thing to bring up.
Yeah. So they landed there. Now, while they're waiting for the new Blue Dragon to arrive, we're talking about 4 to 5 weeks here. So, with all that said and done, they were literally eating food, testing before that flight to the backup to the other rocket. They ending up sitting down, eating, practicing, rehearsing in their flight and all that stuff. That makes a lot of sense. That's not a problem. And they ending up having a conversation between them regarding their family, regarding their culture, and all that good stuff. This is when I get really annoyed. Derek, I'm going to say something, but I'm going to wait until the final review on this one. Because when I read this,
let's save it. Let's save it because I know you're a little wound up about it.
Let's just say, after reading it, I looked at my wife and told her what happened in the book, and we read it. I literally reread it again. I'm like, I need to save this part of the book review. Either way, they got there, and next thing you know, what's his name? Charles is injured, as you say, broken leg, punctured lung, concussion, frigging his arm is falling down. Everything happens to him. It's happening to him right now. He's pumped up with enough morphine and frigging painkillers that he can be Superman. But here's the thing: that the one that really, really caught my imagination up and running. Okay. When they ended up using the Chinese astronaut to grab all the supplies. Makes sense because he's injured. When he got to the ship, when I was reading it, Derek, I'm not sure if you felt the same way. I really thought the Chinese will be like, screw you, hippie, I'm out of here. I'll use the ship to get out of here. I don't need you anymore. Right? That's one thing that popped in my head. The other one is like, I thought Charles was going to, as soon as he gets the supplies, NASA will close that door and like lock him in there. Those are the two things that's coming in my head. I'm glad that the book didn't go that route, but I was really surprised when they tried to injure the Chinese astronaut and saying that, hey, something happened, I got through out of the way, but they ended up using Charles with his injured body rescuing him. I understand tension, but what do you think about all that? Like, I felt like it was unnecessary.
I think that, well, I mean, in the last few chapters, we had a couple of different things that occurred, and it was very, very quick and fast and snap, snap, snap. We're doing this. I mean, it was really rushed, in my opinion. So as you say, they fly over to the supply crate, which, by the way, if he's not an actual pilot, would be really hard. I mean, even with modern technology, lots of modern ships or probes or whatever crash on the moon all the time. It's hard, So to land within, as you said, 3 point whatever meters of it, I don't know. Second thing is he's so beat up on the moon that he's, septic or whatever, and all these crazy stuff, and bones are broken or whatever, and then he crosses the other ship in duct tape. Good job, buddy. That's the way to Die Hard it. And then they shoot up into orbit and have to transfer into the other spacecraft. And then apparently he's just sort of floating away because he's going unconscious or something. So I don't know. I mean, it seemed very rushed to me with these moments where we're trying to create this tension. And I appreciated the fact that the writer was trying to do that. But it was so rushed. It was like click, 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 move, snap, snap, snap. And even the epilogue of the book was 2 months later. You don't even have them get back to the planet. You don't have them have the tension of flying back or coming back through the atmosphere and having that moment of going through the atmosphere with them. That seems to me to be, for everything they've gone through together as two people, and they've forgiven each other for. It seemed like a really important moment for me in the book, rather than just having them 2 months later as an epilogue. I felt like there was a missed opportunity there with it,
I agree. I agree with you, because there was a lot of things that, as you said, there was a lot of tension, a lot of storytelling at the end, and it was great. And to be honest with you, for me saying all this stuff and criticizing everything, and that's our job, is to review this book, right, based on the reader. And as you said, the epilogue is said it's 2 months later. Okay, I have no problems with that, because there's a lot of things can happen between then. He's recovering and all that good stuff. But they touched the point in part of the epilogue saying that, hey, I survived my my re-entry on Earth. By the way, re-entering Earth is being dropped like a rock from the atmosphere and being parachuted down in water or whatever. If your body is injured that way, I want to, this is the part I'm kind of confused. I think you're in the same boat as me. It's all that happened, there's no preparation of him surviving. The only thing we know is 2 months later, he's still injured. He can't go to space anymore, blah, 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 blah. That's fine, but there were, as you said, there's some very good missed opportunity of problem solving how to get him home. Right? What, are you going to put him in stasis the whole time, the whole 4 days? It doesn't make any sense. I feel like there's missing things, right? And yeah, so
I think what we need to do is say that the writer really did, he did a good job of trying to put a lot of tension into the last few chapters of the book. But if we look at the book as a whole, which we're going to do in the full book review here, which, we encourage everybody to listen to, I think we have a lot more to say about the process and the timelines that went on with the book. So with that, let's move on to the full book review. Join us next time as we review The Shackleton Crater by Joshua Calvert. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share a review. We love to hear from you. Send us an email at yourbookmarksinfo@gmail.com. Join us again right here where you left off.